50, Nicole. It's just another one, another number one. I'm complex, difficult to understand. I don't know if it's me or just the makeup of a man.
Okay, hello, I'm Pascal, and when I look at your hands, I have two things to look at it. One part is the fingerprints, and they're already 5-month period of birth. The rest of the hands shows me more the toolbox that you have, your character. This is the Venus part, and I see the lifeline goes makes a nice round, goes far ahead. And Venus means the sense, using all the senses in life, using the joy of life, the playful of life, the easiness of life, also about sexuality and lust of life, not lust in losing, lust of life. And the second thing I see from the hand shape, there's also water in it. So when I talk about water, it's about feeling, it's about vulnerability. Water is passive, and Venus has a way of charisma, so it's a passive charisma, a passive seduction that you have inside you.
Notte sei il nemico più temibile, ingestibile, quando c'è la luna piena arrivi tu.
People, when they're around you, they like to be around you, so they feel just well, I can just sit the whole morning with you and talk with you, and it just feels good, and the people don't want to leave you.
And then number 6, drama queen, charismatic, center of attention, intense feelings,
definitely,
cheering, and spontaneous in emotion. Okay, all right. So you
I'm
would.
not so emotional. I mean, I'm very emotional, but I'm also very irrational. So it's quite.
How would people describe you emotionally? So one part in the right hand, I see actually in your hand the extroverted, passionate, and free one. And in the other hand, I see as well another part. This is more loyal, private, and independent. So I put you in 2 categories.
Independent for sure, loyal as well, but that's the basis. I'm everything. I'm caring and loving, but I leave the person free.
Okay.
A partner around you gets everything, especially from the emotional part. And I look into the finger, I look to the Mercury, this is the little finger, and I see the top is really square and the middle is also square, and there comes a quality inside you that actually goes in a complete different direction. So this square part shows me more the business side of you. So being in a business world of strategy, making business talk, what is the price? Oh no, it's too expensive, you have to make the price lower. So about marching the price lower and
negotiating.
Negotiating. So it's actually good negotiation skills inside you and strategies.
I'm more of a business person, you know.
How long did you do
Finished
that?
my university in economics, worked at Merrill Lynch, summer intern, worked at a hedge fund in London.
Do you have a PR agent?
That's myself.
Okay, and how much did they pay you or range-wise when you go these VIP things?
You can contact me via
that's
xeniacontact@gmail.com and we can negotiate a price for any presents you may need. So you gotta have a feel for it, and once you understand it, you negotiate.
When this area is full, a person tends to take things very seriously. Common sense is important to them. They have high expectations of themselves and even of others. The emphasis of the girdle of Venus on her left hand, and I don't know if you can see it through here, but there's these little multiple rings underneath it. The multiple rings like that add a certain kind of sensation or pleasure in life, and for them to be under the middle finger, which is more of a serious type of finger, would show that she gets a lot of pleasure out of things like quality, pride, doing a good job. So what does she do? I think she's involved in a fast-paced business, like a financial investor. She's got a type A personality.
When I look at the headline, this is also very straight. So this part makes you mental, your thinking is really fact-based oriented, more distant, can be cold, and yeah, like business people are, facts, no emotion. So
70% of the emails I get, they're very like precise and concrete, factual. Like it's facts. It's not like blah blah blah. Usually it's work.
Her heart lines are straightish, both hands, and the end of her left headline aims upwards. And I often notice this on people that are not afraid of money, they're not afraid of making a profit. And when you get these straighter heart lines and this upward bend of the headline, it's not a coldness, but it's just this natural ability to make a profit, to gain. The base of her thumbs are thick, you especially see it in this one. And this shows that she can be very straightforward and blunt in her communications, and honest as well.
Sometimes I'm too direct, like so I say stuff in the face and I shouldn't.
She lacks empathy lines, which would be lines that would be curving under the index finger here. She has a few that you can see here, but she doesn't have them on this hand. And a lack of those lines doesn't mean the opposite of having empathy. It actually shows a different kind of nature within oneself. She doesn't like to whine, complain, and she has a low tolerance for other people that whine and complain.
Challenges.
Relationships?
I would say, nah, relationships are fine, whatever. Who cares?
Okay, there you go.
I couldn't care less. No, I mean, I do care, but I'm happy. I'm like,
Are you in a relationship right now?
nah.
The first thing I notice is all the fine lines breaking up the rows of ridges, particularly across the thenar mount, and in the middle of the palm, the plane of Mars. This would show long-term restless nervous energy. Most of the fine lines on both palms have a crisscrossing nature that supports this, as well as it supporting a need for perfection, accuracy, and to be right. Just all this nervous energy would be like antennas going everywhere. So she's got feelers in a lot of directions, picking up on information and helping her to make good decisions. I think her biggest dilemma is her restlessness. It keeps her from putting down roots. She probably has this "don't fence me in" motto, and she likes to be on the go.
Weaknesses. Impatience. Like I want it all and I want it now, which is not good. And I never stop. I mean, like, when will it be enough? No, it's not gonna be enough.
What are her challenges? She goes from one thing to the next. She's never satisfied, always seeking more. She competes with herself and tries to top and go beyond what's already been accomplished. The stress in her hands is because she lacks a strong radial Mars, and she compensates physical initiative with nervous impulse energy. This is often on women who compete in a man's world, or with people who have a stronger radial Mars mounts than she does.
So there's a lot of little lines, squares, so in it's like going every day and well, business we have to do, let's go.
Work, back to Lugano, hosting Miss Switzerland, back to London, go to New York.
And tries to top and go beyond what's already been accomplished. She can also be painfully honest at times, and that's again the thick thumb bases. She lacks empathy lines, which would be lines that would be curving under the index finger here. She has a few that you can see here, but she doesn't have them on this hand. And a lack of those lines doesn't mean the opposite of having empathy. It actually shows a different kind of nature within oneself. She doesn't like to whine, complain, and she has a low tolerance for other people that whine and complain. I'm sure she has empathy, but she doesn't have the kind of like feeling sorry for people that can do things for themselves because of her own energy. She doesn't have this big Mars mount, so she pushes herself and gets things done in a very energetic way. So little sympathy for other people that might seem lazy or trying to get other people to finish their chores for them. And what is her purpose? To do things that haven't been done before.
One part is the fingerprints, and there I can see the life purpose. So this is the right Jupiter. So your purpose is being a leader, being a person who steps out of the crowd. So you need to be in a way seen out in the world as a person who has a kind of impact, but the impact comes out of the feeling part. So bringing impact with emotion.
The closeness at the start of the head and lifelines to each other in the left hand shows she likes to have other people around, but the separation in the right hand shows the need for independence. This adds some confirmation to being more of a leader of a group of people than being a follower within a group. The radial loop on her left hand along with the whorl on the right gives extra influence to the index fingers compared to all the rest having ulnar loops. The whorl on the right would show that she is good at connecting the dots, making associations, and zeroing in on what needs to be made a priority. The radial loop on her left hand I would read as a need to do things her way. This adds support to leading versus following. All combined loops, whorl, and radial loop show the ability to connect and identify with others, but a need to implement her own style and her own way of doing things. She's a team leader.
That she is the boss.
Yeah.
She's a leader. So making a thinking that she can have her own business, and she goes into her business and she organizes everything.
Your biggest dream to do is to make
My own business.
Okay. What would your role in the company? Are you
Owner, CEO,
okay?
both.
And
Yeah.
she still can say that she has someone, a right hand, who she can really trust, and then she's there, but she also can say, okay, I'm 2-3 months away, everything runs,
Yeah.
and then you just be at the internet and you quickly have a conversation from Jamaica.
Maybe I'll have operational CEOs and stuff, because
Okay.
obviously I cannot do myself.
All right.
A lot of stuff they're gonna be better than me.
Okay.
But I mean, and plus, obviously it's mine.
Her heart lines are straightish, both hands, and the end of her left headline aims upwards. And I often notice this on people that are not afraid of money, they're not afraid of making a profit. And when you get these straighter heart lines and this upward bend of the headline, it's not a coldness, but it's just this natural ability to make a profit, to gain.
I'd love to earn money, but it has to be earned.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I want to earn it
Right.
in a fair, good way. So it has to be my own business, probably in retail, probably has to do with marketing and branding.
Now we have two stories here. So we have the business part, the businesswoman inside you, where is really tough lady and straight on and doesn't express any feeling. And on the other side, I talked about the sensual part of you, the seducing, the lover inside you, the woman who needs atmosphere. So if I bring this together, let's say you need to you organize Miss Switzerland in Switzerland, and you have to make the business. You have to you manage, for example, Miss Switzerland.
Guten Abend, meine Damen und Herren. Herzlich willkommen zu den Miss Schweizwahl 2011 live aus Lugano.
Venus and water has to do with beauty. So lover, so the beauty part is strong here, but here is also the business part. So it doesn't mean that she has to be there, but I mean this is just a logic connection. So marketing, beauty.
Okay. All right. I'd like to reveal who it is. So you're looking at the assistant Miss Switzerland.
Huh?
The runner-up for Miss Switzerland. Here she is. She'll be hosting the Miss Switzerland pageant in 1 week.
Huh? I was with Miss Switzerland.
Yeah, that came out of that. And that's what's funny is that you've never said anything like that before. So it's just amazing how you're doing this.